Hey, y'all. Since last evening, I've been wondering about. I know that I had to come on and make a comment or do a video about the State of the Union address. And from what I watched, now I'm not one to sit down and watch all of those. I'm not. I understand that the president did 2 hours yesterday. That's a lot. So I'll say I did what a lot of people do. I popped in, popped out. And some of the things that I popped in for, and then I watched the highlights, kind of like some people watch football, right? And I watched the highlights, and I've got a question. It has become tradition that the president invites people to the State of the Union address. Usually just normal folks, either to, give them a high five, give them a shout out, or in the case of Rush Limbaugh in Trump's first term, gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And that was actually for people who like Rush Limbaugh. That was pretty special. But last night, I think Melania got to invite some folks, and these were just regular folks. And what we see all the time is that depending on what the applause line is that the president gives, one side stands up and cheers. Yay! Right? But sometimes there should be things that, regardless of where you are in the political spectrum, that you can cheer for. Y'all know where I'm going. One of the people invited was this young boy, 13 years old, who had survived brain cancer, who was fighting off brain cancer. He wanted to be a police officer. And he was given, he's been on the internet, he was given a shout out by the President of the United States at the State of the Union address. As he stands up and holds this ID, that he's on his way to getting his lifelong dream. One side burst into this uproarious applause for this young black boy, and the other side, they sit on their hands. They sit there with the most sour expressions. First of all, if he had just said, I found this story of this young man who survived brain cancer, and I thought it was an encouraging, wonderful story, and I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention and give this young boy a shout out, that should have been enough. That should have been enough to get you off your ass and applaud this young man's efforts. When we talk about people being brave, but you didn't. That's why you lost to Trump again. And as bad as that was, there was this journalist who had been held by Russia, been tried and convicted of a crime, 14 years in this penal colony at hard labor. And while in Butler, before he goes up on the stage and gets shot, this dude's mom, who was probably 94 at the time, reminds him of this story about her son and says, please don't forget him. And he doesn't. And he gets the dude home. So they're standing there in the gallery next to Melania Trump. She's 95. And the president of the United States brought her kid home. And you can't stand for that. This is why you lost to Trump again. This other young man, maybe because all these are men, that you have problem with it? Maybe because they're not trans, they're not gay. Maybe that's what your problem is. But this young man, high school senior, and good kid, great grades. His dream is to serve in the Army. He wants to go to West Point. I have had students who wanted to go to military academies, and it's tough to do. It's hard to get in. He was told that his application was approved. He didn't know that. His application was approved. His mom is standing there. It is a tremendous event. He's standing there in the House of Representatives of the United States, the country that he wants to go defend. One side burst into uproarious applause for this young man, 17 years old. And the other, you just sit there with a sourpuss mean mug. You won't celebrate this young man. You won't celebrate his accomplishments. This is why you lost to Trump again. And if you don't get it, you're going to continue to lose.